Hey, what is up, viewers? Patrick from Bible Verses is only back with another YouTube video, and this is episode number 5 of Stress Speak about Isaiah. And today's verse comes out of Psalm 119, verse 143, and it says, "Trouble and distress have come upon me, but your commands give me delight." And that's what that verse means, and let's get right into it. Our Royal Rangers recap. We're going to the book of Micah, and this was the second night of our study on the book of Micah at church, and let's get right into it. Let me find Micah first. So basically, last week, just give a little recap. We read the first chapter of Micah. The first chapter, the chapter 1, and we read verse 1, 2, and 3. This time we're going a little further than that, and let's just get right into it. Starting at verse 1 of Micah 1. Here it is. It says, "The word of the Lord that came to Micah of Morjeph during the reigns of," whatever the names are, "kings of Judah, the vision he saw concerning Samaria and Jerusalem." Now I will mention this before I read this next verse. This little verse is regarding the case and the witness is being announced. Here's what it says. "Hear you peoples, all of you. Listen, earth, and all who live in it, that the sovereign Lord may bear witness against you, the Lord from his holy temple." Verse 3. This is a surprising... So, verse 3 and 4 of Micah 1, it's a surprising explanation. Here it is. "Look, the Lord is coming from his dwelling place. He comes down and treads on the heights of the earth. The mountains melt beneath him, and the valleys split apart, like wax before the fire, like water rushing down a slope." Alright. Verse 5, this is the question of why. Here it is. "All this is because of Jacob's transgression, because of the sins of the people of Israel." What is Jacob's transgression? Is it not Samaria? What is Judah's high place? Is it not Jerusalem? Now, verse 6. 6 and 7, this is regards to the sentence and also the destruction. Here's that part. It reads, "Therefore I will make Samaria a heap of rubble, a place for planting vineyards. I will pour her stones into the valley and lay bare her foundations. All her idols will be broken to pieces. All her temple gifts will be burned with fire. I will destroy all her images, since she gathered her gifts from the wages of prostitutes. As the wages of prostitutes, they will again be used." Verse 8, it says, "Because of this, I will weep and wail. I will go about barefoot and naked. I will howl like a jackal and moan like an owl. For Samaria's plague is incurable. It has spread to Judea. It has reached the very gate of my people, even in Jerusalem itself. Tell it not in Gath. Weep not at all in Beth," and I don't even know what the word is. "Roll in the dust." Verse 11. "Pass by naked and in shame, you who live in Shephir. Those who live in Sahanan will not come out." And I don't know that, and I do apologize. I do not understand I don't even know how to say these words, so I do apologize if I get these wrong. "Beth Ezel is in mourning. It no longer protects you." Little side note or not really, I don't want to say side note. An interesting way that this verse from last night, this was basically the English meaning of it. It's really interesting to me. Here it is. "Get yourselves out of there in nakedness and shame, residents of Beauty Town. That is the first part of verse 11, which says, "Pass by naked and in shame, you who live in Shephir, in nakedness and shame." That's what that means. "The inhabitants of Zanan, do not come out." That means no exit for Exit Town. Then I believe it's the last part. I'm not sure if this is it. But the lamentation of Beth-ezel shall take away from you its standing place. That's the mourning of Neighbor Town. Means no more neighbor. Verse 12, here it is. "Those who live in Maroth writhe in pain, waiting for relief, because disaster has come from the Lord, even to the gate of Jerusalem." So for verse 12, basically, here's more of that. That first part, "Those who live in Maroth writhe in pain, waiting for relief." Basically, that's basically for the residents of Biterville hoped for better. And then that last part, which is, "because disaster has come from the Lord, even to the gate of Jerusalem." Basically, that is, for war has come down from Yahweh to the gate of the city of peace. Which, in case you didn't know, Jerusalem is the city of peace. Verse 13. Let me skip that part. Oh, there we go. Here's verse 13. "You who live in Lachish, harness fast horses to the chariot. You are where the sin of daughter Zion began. For the transgressions of Israel were found in you." So for that part, verse 13, that was prophecy with poetic power. Basically, the part with "harness the steeds to the chariots, inhabitants of," whatever that is. Basically, that means bind the chariot to the harness of Harness Town. And then that last part, which was, "it was the beginning of sin to the daughter of Zion, for in you were found the transgressions of Israel." So there's that. Verse 14, verse 15. Skip into verse 15. And here's what verse 15 says, and it says, "I will bring a conqueror against you who live in Mareshah. The nobles of Israel will flee to Adullam." And then for that one, basically, that Mareshah word, that basically means conquering town. And then the ADA, or the Adullam, that means the land of the caves. The caves. And finally, verse 16. It reads, "Shave your head in mourning for the children in whom you delight. Make yourself as bald as the vulture, for they will go from you in exile." And that is all for the verse portion. I know that was a lot. I apologize. And yeah, one more thing from verse 16. Basically, that was an ominous warning. And finally, the verse to leave you with today. And here it is. Psalm 23:6 says, "Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." And that's going to do for the video. Thanks for watching. Until next time we meet again, viewers, in every way, God's way is always the best way.